Well, hey, it's JamiThatsMe here. Welcome back to the channel. Listen, I want to talk to y'all real quick about Erica Mena and Nicki Minaj's ex, Safaree Samuels. Okay, girl. Speaking of Safaree, not too long ago, y'all know he went to Gag City and showed his ass, right? He went to Nicki Minaj's concert. I believe it was out in New York. He had some security people with him. He sat in the stands like a fan and the number one barb that he is and has always been. And he had him a good old time. All right. I didn't really see too much wrong with him going and supporting and, wanting to enjoy himself at the Nicki Minaj concert. I mean, he was there in the beginning, although he's not there currently. He was there in the beginning before she was who we all, came to know her as. But girl, he was over there getting his life and then decided to go over to YouTube to talk about the situation even more and make him a quick coin and a quick buck off of it, okay? So that's what he, decided to do. I believe Nikki did get on station head and she kind of like slick drug him just a little piece, okay? And had some things to say. But girl, Nikki has always dragged Safaree high key. She has always dragged that man. And you know what? I'm here for it, especially once we learn this new news about him and Erica Mena. So you know that they were married for some time. They did meet on Love and Hip Hop New York, I believe. Is where they met, ended up having a relationship. They got married on the show. Shortly after that, they did have children. They had a daughter, and then she ended up having a son that it didn't seem like he actually wanted. It seemed like he did not want that son because he really put her through a lot, throughout that entire pregnancy and stuff. And she's been very, very vocal about that. Okay. It has been a long time coming for her to really be over Safaree and to be past that divorce, because I do remember on the episode when she finally got the announcement about the divorce and she learned that he was only awarded to pay her like $4,000 a month in child support for the kids. And she was like, what the hell? Like, that's it? Like, what? So she really was upset about that. But that did not stop her from continuing to, smashing on her ex-husband, baby daddy or whatever. Okay. When we learned that he was over there dating Amara and he ended up giving Amara daughters, her twin daughters, Rolexes for their birthday, doing the most, like, what the hell? Erica went off. She went off, okay? Because she felt like you don't even do that type of stuff for your kids and you're over here doing this stuff for Amara. Well, girl, I can imagine how Erica Mena has been lately, considering the fact that he is continuing to do videos and things with Amara. They seem to be dating at this point, all right? So I can imagine when he does things for Amara that he may not be doing for the kids. I can imagine how Erica Mena has been feeling. But let me tell y'all this. It's been a minute since we've seen Erica Mena take to social media and go the hell off. I haven't really seen anything. The last thing I've really seen of Erica was her doing an interview trying to clear up the situation with she and Spice. Y'all know her and Spice got into it on Love and Hip Hop ATL. She referred to Spice as a blue monkey. That resulted in her having to take a time out from the show. And I believe she also booked something else, another show that was over on, I believe it was, is it All Black, the All BLK? I forgot the name of the show, but it was on an app. And I believe she even had to take a sit out from that. Okay, so it has definitely affected her opportunities and she has gone pretty quiet. I haven't really seen her come out and go off and snap off on people or say anything, right? And listen, I'm looking forward. I feel like after this new news, she just might snap the hell off on Safaree. If she doesn't, then we could potentially be seeing a new Erica Mena. I don't know. When she was dating Bow Wow, she acted as though she was a new Erica Mena as well because she didn't want to return to Love and Hip Hop, and I was hoping that she didn't. I used to like Erica a lot and I wanted to see her, evolve past the show, but that didn't work out. When the relationship with Bow Wow didn't work out, we saw her right back over on Love and Hip Hop, okay? So hopefully she was back to her same old antics, right? But hopefully she doesn't respond. I kind of hope that she doesn't. I hope that she is in that space of growth with her two babies and just focusing on herself and her career as much as she can and not really getting into the internet, mess of it all. But let me get into why we here because it's been long enough. So what's being said is that Safaree has filed for a petition to see if he could get that $4,300 child support payment that he's supposed to be paying Miss Erica Mena. Well, he's trying to get that reduced. Sir, I would be livid in this. I would, unless she's already not getting that money, because that was a part of her storyline on Love and Hip Hop ATL where he wasn't really pulling his weight and doing his part. If she hasn't been getting that money, maybe it's a shrug of shoulders, like I've been doing everything for them anyway, I'll continue, whatever. But I would be pissed if you're paying the 4,300 and you're trying to lower those payments. I feel like if he was to do content on YouTube, which is what he's already doing, I believe, with Amada or whatever he got going on, he's probably going to make those payments just from doing YouTube. Okay? So, and you have a bigger celebrity than a lot of people. So you're going to have a following. You're going to have people that's going to tune in for your antics and stuff. So for you to want to reduce that, in a sense, like, what's really going on? Okay. So what he's alleging in this documentation, in his petition, he's saying that he no longer makes the $61,000 per month, and that there has been a significant change in his circumstances regarding the custodial arrangement as well. So he claims he typically keeps the children for 3 to 4 weeks at a time instead of the 12 days prescribed. So wait a minute, let me back. So it seems like I could have had this mistaken just a bit. He may be trying, well, no, I'm not, because he says he no longer makes the $61,000. So he wants the payments lowered. Okay. Hold what you got. So it sounds to me that he's trying to say, I don't make that much money anymore because I'm having to have my children more than the time we said I would actually have them. In addition, if I am having them so much of the time, then I shouldn't have to pay her a lot of money, the 4,300, because she's the one that's out here obviously booking the gigs and stuff, which is why, he probably has the kids 3 to 4 weeks. Okay. So basically a month at a time. I think this is very petty. In a sense, okay, these are your children. You're supposed to take care of them. I think you should keep the payments the same, if not give her more, in my opinion. And y'all just work out that, like, these are your kids. Like, I don't trust that if your payments were lower, you would still do what you're supposed to do. Because every time we look up, we looking at something you don't win and got a model, or something you don't win and did for a model. Okay. Now, granted, that don't mean that you haven't done anything for your kids just because we don't see that. You may be amazing. You may provide. I don't know. But I do feel like this is a bit of pettiness, just a little bit. But you guys let me know your thoughts, okay? He says that his income has changed because he is not appearing as a full-time cast member of Love and Hip Hop anymore, and his bookings have slowed down as a direct result of Erica's actions. So now he's blaming on Erica. How she showed up on Love and Hip Hop ATL resulted in it to him, which is so ironic to me, not being on the show as a full-time cast member and not making enough money. And that's just interesting. Okay. That's just considering, because it sounds like you're saying because she affected your storyline on the show, you're not making as much money as you used to. But it's funny because, that show used to always find a space for Safaree, whether it was on New York, Atlanta, Miami, wherever. I think you probably even went over to Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, and even played over there, because wasn't it this whole fiasco with A1 Lyrica and you? Right? So you've always been able to finesse and move about in the Love and Hip Hop franchise. So now that Erica has affected some things, you are making less amount of money. That doesn't quite make sense to me. But I do question, I don't know if Mona Scott Young has that big of a hand in Love and Hip Hop now, considering the fact that it was on VH1, it moved to MTV and stuff. Maybe she doesn't have that strong of a hand as she once had. And maybe that may have affected him to why he's not on all these franchises popping up as he has in the past, as though he was Ray J. Okay. That could have affected it just a little bit. Okay. But isn't he on the show right now? The Villain or whatever, House of Villains. I thought he was on that show. I'm sure you can book plenty of opportunities. What about the show that you had on Zeus or something? Weren't you, or was it Ray J's show? Ray J's app, Raycon. Weren't you supposed to be doing something for the love of Safaree? But now you're saying you're not making as much? I believe this. I'm not believing Safaree fully. Okay, but they go on to say, in the suit, he claims Erica referring to him as claims a deadbeat, according to him and according to Erica, to her 6 million followers, has resulted in him booking fewer jobs due to the majority of his fan base being female. Ooh, in addition to all of this, he is claiming Erica's income has increased. So he requested the judge lower his income and make Erica pay his legal fees. If this is not petty, I can't, y'all. I cannot. And that's per child. Like, is your kids, are they going, they're young. I'm sure they need after school care, if not daycare. I'm sure they need that, or somebody at the house, a nanny or somebody that you guys are having to pay for. Why should that solely be on her? And like 4,000, like that's not enough in my opinion to take care of your two children. And then my question is, are they actually in school? If they're not having after school care or daycare, or well, after school care would be they're in school, or daycare, if they're in school, then they need supplies, they need certain things, and then they also need the care after school. Like, what's are they being homeschooled? What is going on? I'm not here for this at all. I'm not here for this at all. I just don't, I cannot, I just don't think that's enough, y'all. I really don't. 43, like, and you got to understand, in my opinion, right? I know she's making her money as she should. I just don't think that they should be lower than 43,000, because for her to likely secure a nice home, let's say she lives in Georgia, right? For her to secure a nice home in a nice location with good schools and stuff, and like for those kids, 3+ bedroom for her kids, and ain't no telling who else. Like, we'll just focus on the kids, right? And when I said ain't no telling who else, I was more so thinking about Olivia and Nanny. But aside from that, do y'all know for probably a 4 or 5 bedroom home, that's $3,000 alone. Okay, 3,000, and then you got your bills and stuff, and ain't no telling what else the kids needs. Like, I don't think his payment should be lowered from 4,300 to what? And what if the judge say, okay, I'll take 300 from you, and you can still pay the 4,000? I just disagree, especially when he can book opportunities and he could get paid under the table by expecting and requiring all cash potentially. He can have a certain deposit, like a lot of these hairstylists like to do. A lot of these beauty industry people love to have you pay a deposit on the site, which is record. Okay. But then a lot of them require that you pay cash as well. And that's how they finesse on their taxes, in my personal. And that may be what he does as well. But I can't get with it, y'all. And I've rambled enough. I cannot get with it. I can't support it. I think this is very whack of him, especially when I've seen at least 3 videos with him and Amada just this past weekend. Like, and you're showing new stuff that you may have gotten her. I don't have time. I don't have the time. Erica hasn't said anything yet. I slick hope she does not respond and continue to take the high road. And we'll just see how this is going to play out in courts. But for you to expect your payments to be lowered and then expect her to pay your legal fees, I feel like if she's having to get out there and hustle to make up for the lack thereof financially, then you need to get out there and do the same thing. Okay, but that's just my opinion. I'll leave you guys to it. That's all that I got at this time. I'm Jami, that's me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos. Follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at Jami, that's me. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming, I swinging like Soldier Ray. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda, we hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef on computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they died of me. All of a sudden, they tell me they proud of me. I've been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far.